it's all gonna be good. Don't worry about nothing, don't worry about nothing, nothing now. It's all gonna be good. So breathe like you know you should. Yeah, breathe.
Hello and welcome to once again to today's video. So in today's video I'm going to be taking you through how to create this amazing cluster bar chart. Alright, so cluster column chart, excuse me. So today I'll be showing you exactly how to create this amazing cluster column chart. And so if your charts are normally looking the way they are supposed to look, the normal way, today we are going to go a step further where we transform such a chart to something like this. Alright, now before we begin this, there are a number of things that I do keep in mind or take into consideration. Now this particular chart shows us the total sales by year. All right, so it shows us the last year sales by the current year sales. All right, and we have our slicer here, which is the year slicer that we are using for this particular visualization. Okay, and so if I'm to select one of them, so there's no value in this, but I believe there are some with value. So let me show you that. So if I'm to select like 2012, you can see that this is the current year, this is the previous year sales, and then we have the current year sales. All right, so you have the total sales. All right, that is the actual bar chart, the black. All right, and then we have the last year sales, that is the pointer inside. All right, this is showing the last year we actually performed more than this current year when it comes to this particular console. All right, and like so for this as well, you can see it right there that we performed more last year. We had more total sales last year than we did this year, and we can see that by these two visualizations in one. So this is more like a bar chart in a bar chart kind of scenario. All right, and so I have it also shown over here where I say that when the CY, all right, this is the current year sales, it's represented by the black visual, the bar chart with black color. All right, that is this actual color, the black, and then the previous year is what is indicated inside, so with this color, so that when you take a look at this visualization, this should guide you in knowing what I'm talking about, what this visualization is about. That the actual bar chart, which is the black bar chart around the visualizations, is the current year sales, or represents the current year sales, and the ones inside represent the previous year sales. And so that is what in this video we shall be looking at. And so I'll be showing you and taking you through a step-by-step guide on how to do this. And so now before we begin to do this, there are a few things that I need to keep in mind. That one, we are going to have to find the total the total sales for the entire year. All right, that is the current year sales. So the total sales for the entire year. You're also going to be looking at last year's sales, that the previous year's sales. All right, and so I already have my measures right over here. For the total sales, we already know the total sales is going to be this. All right, so this is going to be the total sales. So where is it? So this is my total sales. All right, this is my total sales measure, and this is the measure is just a simple measure. Total sales equals the sum of the total sales. All right, so that gives us the total sales, and the previous year sales or last month sales. All right, we use this. So this is what this is the measure for it. So in this particular case of scenario, we use a calculate total sales same period last year, and then we have our calendar table date. All right, instead of same period last year, you can also use date add -1 and then a comma year. All right, and that will also give you the exact same thing. All right, and so if that is clear, we are moving on. Now these are measures, so you just need to get used to them. That is why I keep showing them to you time and time again, so that you get used to them. All right, it's not really something that I can come here and teach. I can only give you some examples, and then you can build on the examples that I've already given you. All right, to be good with the DAX measures. All right, the more you practice, the more you try new DAX measures, the better you get at it. It's as simple as that. Okay. All right, so let's jump right in. So we are looking for the total sales, and the total sales, that's the current year sales and the last year sales by console. All right, and so the first thing that we are going to do, we are going to take our visual. So this is a visual we are going to be using, and we are looking at this by the console. All right, so console, and from here I'm going to go in and take my total sales. All right, so my current year sales, so my total sales, like so. All right, and then we have my total sales by console. So in this case it's this, so we are going to go with this. All right, so like so. Okay, and now we are just going to go and look for the top 10 Right now, this is something that you should already be familiar with. All right, how to get a top 10. Okay, and so the top 10, because there are so many consoles, so you just want the top 10. All right, like so that we can have this. All right, good, so that we can have this. So now we have this, and now we need to go ahead and do some formatting, and that is also pretty easy. So you can simply go and then do your formatting. So for the x-axis, which is the figures down here, all right, I'm just going to go and increase it a little bit. All right, change the color, make this deep black. All right, and we are going to just take off the title, that is the console down there, because we all know it's console. We are also going to see that in the title above. All right, so we are just going to remove that. And for the y-axis, which is this side of things, we are probably going to take everything. All right, so that we can have this as the final thing. All right, and now we need to just work on the total sales, that is the title for this particular visualization. Okay, and so I'm just going to come right here, and for that I'm just going to format this a little bit. All right, to 15, like so. In the middle, let's align it in the middle. Okay, so align it in the middle, and this looks perfect, right? This looks perfect, so we can go ahead and now add our zoom slider to it, and voila. So normally this is what we are going to get. So let's just add the borders, all right, the visual borders to this, just so you know. Yeah, so for visual borders, let's remove the background first, and for visual borders we are going to come right here and turn this on. Okay, and now we can just increase the width, that is the size of the visual borders, all right, to let's say 2. All right, so this looks fine. So now this is looking more and more like this. All right, so now we have this, but this is not the final thing. All right, this is just going to show us our total sales by console, but we need something to show the total sales. There's the current year total sales and the previous year total sales, all right, by each console. All right, and we need to add all of these and things like that, so that whenever we select any one of these, now you can see this is showing differently that from this. All right, and so what are we going to do from here? And what we'll be doing, or what we are going to do, is we are going to be using something called the error bars in Power BI. All right, we are going to use the error bars in Power BI, and for the error bars, some of you might have yours here. Excuse me, some of you might have yours right after the plot area background. I don't know which Power BI version you're using, but some of you will have it probably just below the plot area background, and that is fine. But if you are not seeing it below the plot area background and you are using a version like mine, then you need to come right here, choose this, and now you can find the error bars down here. All right, okay. So now you are going to click on the error bars, and what you are going to see, you are going to see that we have applied settings to series, and in this particular series we are looking at the total sales. Okay, because this is based on the total sales. Total sales, all right. If you are using profit, you are going to be seeing the series by profit and all of that. Okay, so once you have this, you are going to come down, you are going to see we have upper bound and we have the lower bound. All right, now in this case, our lower bound, we can just create a measure, a dummy measure. All right, now a dummy measure is a measure that doesn't really serve any purpose. All right, and so in my case, my dummy measure is 0, where I say 0 is equal to the number 0. Now you can also say dummy is equal to dummy is equal to 0, or dummy is equal to 1, whatever. It's just a dummy number. You can even use your name is equal to 0. It's just a dummy measure. All right, and so we are going to pick the measure. In this case, this is mine, 0, and I'm going to put this in the lower bound. All right, and so once I've done that, that in the lower bound. For my upper bound, so like so, now I have the upper bound. I'm going to go select my last sales that I've already created, my measure. This is my measure like I showed you. All right, and I'm going to copy my last sales and I'm going to put it in my upper bound. All right, and then once I'm done doing all of this, you're going to come right up here on top and you're going to turn on enabled, and now you can see that now it's getting closer to what we have here. All right, so now that we have this, you are going to go ahead to the next step. Good. So now we have this, and it's looking more and more like this. So now if I'm to select this, you can see that now it's working. If I'm to select this, you can see that it's working. If I'm to select this, you can see that it's actually working. But we want to continue formatting it to for it to be like so. All right. And so what are we going to do? So now that we have this, now what is inside is the previous year sales. All right. And what is the outside layer is the current year sales. All right. And so we are going to go and then change the upper layer, or the outside layer, excuse me. Okay. And so what we are going to do, I'm going to go back, select this. I'm going to go to my bars, all right, or my columns. Okay. So my columns, and I'm going to change the color for my column. So my column is currently blue, so I'm going to change the color for my columns, and I'm going to make it black. All right. So that now I have something like so. All right. So I have something like so. And then once I'm done with that, now everything looks on point, and that is fine. But anyone that says you should be able to tell that what is inside is actually the previous year sales, and what is outside is actually the current year sales. And to do that, we are going to have to create some shapes and then use those shapes to indicate what is inside and what is outside. And there are so many shapes. So you come to shapes and you can select whichever one that you want. All right. And so here we are going to select the oval, right, like so. Okay, like so. And I'm going to bring this here, and I need four, all right, just to show this. So like so, I have so, all right, and then like so. And then I have this right here, and I have the last one right here. Okay, and now with this, I'm going to come here and I'm going to change the style. All right, so I'll go to style and then take this off. All right, so I'm going to take this off, and then for text, I'm going to come to text, tick the border off as well, and I'm going to come to text and I'm going to say, all right, so this should be CY. That's my current year sales. All right, and then I can go ahead and do some more formatting to this. Okay, like so. It's in the middle. I can increase this a little bit. All right, I want it to be this dark, and then I can make it Times New Roman. All right. Okay, so now that I have like so, all right, and it's in the middle, now I can come here and I can do the same for this as well. All right, where this is going to be my previous year sales. All right, so I'm going to turn the border off. You can leave the border on as well, it really doesn't matter. And I'm going to call this PY. Okay, I'm just going to come right here and I'm going to change the background for this. Oh, excuse me, my mouse is misbehaving. Okay, so I'm going to come right here and I'm going to turn this off. All right, and I'm going to come down here and do the same formatting to this as well. I'm going to make this black. All right, and I think that's that. And then for this, I'm going to make it Times New Roman as well, like so. And I'm going to put it in the middle. All right, now once I'm done with that, I'm going to come here and I'm just going to change the color. All right, for this. Okay, all right. Hello, I'm Meshak here, and still in the course of the video. Just wanted to take a minute and to let you know that if you're a small business owner or someone trying to break into data analytics, hey, you should know that I can help you move faster without confusion. Over here, I offer one-on-one data analytics coaching where I teach you podcast skills in Power BI, SQL, Excel, Python, alright, and business insights tailored to your goals. Whether it's for improving decisions or landing a role, you are at the right place. I also needed to know that I've also created a Power BI beginner ebook that breaks everything down step by step, no jargon, no overwhelming. And so if you are ready to actually understand data and use it with confidence, I'll ask you to check the links right below. I've attached it to my video. Alright, and you can see, so this is my one-on-one coaching where you can book a coaching session with me and you can get to ask me questions directly and I can help you to solve any problem that you are looking to solve when it comes to data analytics. You can also find my ebook here, right? And so if there is something that you like, you can simply go in and then you can purchase it, and it's quite affordable, so you can just go in and purchase it, and trust me that you are going to get the value that you are looking for as you buy this book. All right, so without much ado, I digress. Let's move back to the video. Okay, so I'm just going to change the color for this particular one. Okay, all right, so let's change this. Okay, so current year sales. So the current year sales, I want to represent it with this color, and then the previous year, what is inside, I want to represent it with this color. All right, or let's pick something light, like so, like this. Looks fine. All right. Okay, so now we have CY and then we have PY, where this color represents CY and then this color represents PY. All right, so now it looks more and more like what we already have here. Now you can see this one we left the borders. All right, by this we took out the borders, and that is fine. You are allowed to take the borders off, or you are allowed to keep the borders in. That is entirely based on you. All right, so now that we have something like so, all right, you can make it smaller like so, just to make it look cute. All right, depends on you. All right, can make it cute or can make it big. And so once we have this, now if I'm to select this, you can see that now it's changing accordingly. All right, and so we're able to tell the CY from the PY. All right, one more thing I like is to correct before we move is when you hover over any of them, you can see that we have this console PS3 totals as well, lower than all of that. So we would like to change this so that we can only see the total sales, that's the current year sales and the previous year sales. All right, like so. So if I come here, you see we can only see the total sales, all right, and the last year sales. All right, but if I come here, we are seeing this lower and upper bound then. All right, and we don't want that. So what you can simply do is that you can now come here. All right, still go to error bars, excuse me. So you can still go to error bars, and then once you come to error bars, all right, you have these options, okay, and you have two tips right over here. So you can turn off the two tips right from here. All right, so I'm going to turn off the two tips from there, and then I'm going to go back. All right, and then I'm going to go back here, excuse me, and then now you can see that I'm only seeing my total sales. All right, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to come down here to my tooltip section, and I'm going to copy my last year sales, and I'm going to put this in my tooltips. All right, so now you can see we have total sales and last year sales by console. So if I hover over this, now we can see console, we can see the console name, the total sales, and then we have the last year sales. All right, and so yes, this is how you can, and you can see it's dynamic, it all changes, so everything is working perfectly in our favor. All right, when it comes to this particular visualization. And so yes, this is one way or how you can create this amazing bar chart in PowerPoint using everything that I've just talked to you. And so yes, if this is something new, if this is a new thing that you just learned, be sure to leave a comment and a like to this video. All right, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well, so that you can join the Nakama, so that when I upload a new video like so, again you will be the first to be notified. All right, and so yes, without much ado, we'll be drawing the curtains to an end on this particular video. And like I always say, do be sure to take care of yourself, and I'll be sure to catch you in the next one. See ya.